What in the world is this thing doing in the top 10? Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So we're starting off here with your top 10 cards sold on TCG Player this year. And I also want to talk about the Cyber Weekend sales too, because there's some hilarious stuff here. So Toy Soldier, now this is no surprise. I mean, budget, White Forest Centurion. This is the budget player's actual like craziness out here. To see this card being so very cheap, I think is a very good thing. So good job, Konami. You made Toy Soldier one of the most viably acceptable cards out here. Lightning Storm. This one should also be not much of a surprise to anybody out here. Cheap Destruction of Monsters in back row. All written on one card. Available now in multiple rarities. You know, they destroyed the value in a lot of these cards, and that's fine. But this list is going to show you that, you know, cheaper cards being available is a very good thing for your player base, because it shows that, you know, opportunity is to be had in Lightning Storm. One of the better meta opportunities out here. The Stone Sweeper. So this card was really exciting when we got the new structure deck. A lot of people were like, hey, you know, this gives us all this Red Dragon Archfiend support. It's literally the searcher for everything. It brings together, you know, Red Dragon Archfiend and, you know, Earthbound Immortals all in one searchable fashion. And that was really good. And I'm not surprised. I mean, this card's been, you know, a good couple dollars for most of its life out here. And then we have the Samsara D Lotus. This shouldn't surprise anybody either. Samsara D Lotus has been the Youell card. And this also, seeing Youell stuff on the top 10 best-selling cards out of the year really hits the nail on the head for how much players were excited to get the chance to play with, you know, Youell named cards. You know, when you take a deck like Youell and you breathe life into it and make it good for being a fan favorite, yeah, that was really nuts. Cashier Fener, now this is crazy because Fener does not have a reprint yet, but Fener has been one of the two biggest duos out here for mid-range control. And every duelist that wanted to, you know, have the opportunity to try to play some of these decks, you know, was like, hey, you know, Cashier Fener. And it's like, after every single deck that we've gone through out here, you know, Fener has continued to stick around and evolve with the times out here. So Fener moving up the ranks at number 6, and then his partner literally right behind him, Cashier Unicorn, out here. I am not surprised to see this one either. Banishing from the extra deck face down has turned into such a chaotically crazy mechanic out here. And Unicorn, literally, these two are the crazy duo that makes this all incredibly possible. And hey, thanks Konami, you literally made mid-range control into a viable option for the community. Spirit of Youell. So once again with the Samsara D Lotus thing out here, you have another fantastic option that was added into the deck. Now, obviously, I think this might be a case of people pick these up in lower rarity. It might have came back through and picked them up in higher rarity once, you know, we had the 10 reprint, because people are like, oh, you know, I can afford $1, $2 to justify the upgrade cost for this, and it's not going to break the bank. So I'm kind of contributing some of that to the possibility of this actually being a major thing. Toy Box. So like the Toy Soldier out here, Toy Box was literally one of your highest selling cards out of the year. Holy shit, that's actually insane out here, man. I knew the Toy Box stuff was popular. I didn't realize that it was this level of popular. Like, this is genuinely surprising to see, but this proves that, you know, people really wanted cheap budget cards. People are a lot more enticed to spend $1, $2. Forbidden Droplet, the board breaker card. You know, ever since Droplet kind of came into the game, and Konami printed this card in a easier to get fashion, you have this now super easy to be handed to you. Do not underestimate board breaking cards. I think Droplet's going to continue to be one of the best board breaker cards in the modern facet of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because the card's just super stupid. Like, especially chainability, so good. Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Yeah, this literally is the card of the year out here. Ash, I mean, every deck wants it. Every player kind of understands that, you know, if you're going to play this game right now, you have to have a play set of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. And literally every version is worth a little bit of money. I'm not surprised to see that this was ramping up at the rate that it is, because it's one of those things you have to have. Now, let's shift on over to Cyber Weekend. Karibo out here. I did not expect... so when you do a kickback, you always kind of see some really weird things happen. And seeing this Alt-Art Karibo kicking up some of the dust out here genuinely made me a little bit happy and a little bit surprised, because I didn't expect to see this little furball out here actually making a splash. But yes, the Alt-Art Karibo was in the top 10. And then, of course, we had the Alt-Art IP. You know, it's almost like when you make an art that people really desire and you don't slap it on a shitty gold rare, players are going to go, this is an opportunity to pick this up. 10% kickback? Oh, don't mind if I do. And that's exactly what we saw out here. IP did a fantastic turnaround out here in the secondary market, and I'm actually quite happy to see that. Sneaky C, what in the world are you doing here? So what, your opponent special summons a monster, you special summon this face down during the end phase, it flips itself face up, and destroys all special summoned monsters on your opponent's field. I don't really know what to say about this, actually. I did not... When I first saw this list, I was like, what in the world is Sneaky C doing here? And evidently, there was a lot of hype for looking for an alternative, hand trap to be able to clear a board. And it looks like it was here. Bonfire. Oh, yeah. I mean, when Konami decided not to literally touch this, I'm not surprised to see this. But Bonfire... it literally is the Fire Rhoda, and we have chosen not to limit it. So now you've got people out here losing their minds going, you got 7 Tachyon and this about to exist in the same format. I think Bonfire is eventually going to go away. I don't foresee a world where we're going to let this stick around for too long. But for the time being, yes, Bonfire was a very big seller out here, out of this. And then we had the Blue Eyes White Dragon, quarter century from the tin this year. I think this is the best art. I'm just going to come out and say it. All the other fancy arts are really, really cool. They do some pretty strong things for what they are, but I'm not feeling them. It really, there are better versions of Blue Eyes available. I'm not going to say that there isn't, but with what they've picked for quarter century so far, I'm really just not feeling them, to be honest with you. Wanted. Oh, yeah. Well, as the Dia Bellstar package sees a decline out here, wasn't stopping people from rushing out and picking this up, because Konami made all these cards severely affordable now. And if you want to play the White Forest build, or if you were like, hey, even though OSS is gone, I still want to, splash this stuff in the future and be able to have it. Budget cards that are literally $1, $2. Once again, we get into this. These cards are way more enticing for people to want to pick up. Thrust. This card should be no stranger to anybody either. The fact you can pull out literally any spell or trap card from your deck, depending on the conditions, and just you have your resource. Like, this card is turned into the ultimate side deck card. Just pulling out those resources and making sure that you can put your opponent in that really bad position. So, hey, Thrust, good on you. You're really getting your mileage out here. This card really has kind of turned into some insane stuff. SP, yeah, this one should surprise anybody. SP turned into that mandatory extra deck staple out here, and now that it's incredibly cheap, now you can finally do the cool shenanigans that you wanted with having 2 to 3 of these things. Or maybe you want to play Pot of Extravagance in the deck. I don't really know what you're thinking in terms of your deck build, nor do I, recommend rushing out and, picking up 3 of these right away. I mean, you can play with the 1, you don't need 3 right now. I'm sure there's some cool Pot of Extravagance build you could play, but okay. Dia Bellstar, the Dark Witch. Oh boy. Dia Bellstar. So, Wanted was what, number 5 on this list? The card that makes the world go round for the package. I've seen a lot of 1 Dia Bellstar, 3 Wanteds, so it's kind of interesting to see Dia Bellstar kind of surpassed on that initial number. But the way it's looking here, everybody, I'm not surprised to see this, actually. I'm really happy to see Dia Bellstar still getting some love. And then Dimension Shifter. This one, I think this was a genuine hype out here for people kind of wanting to play Malice. This was one of the things people were like, hey, we can pick this up, we can play this stuff. yes, you can, but Shifter is kind of fallen off right now. It's not necessarily like a bad thing, but times have kind of changed for this card. But I mean, overall, you got a couple surprises in here. That's for sure. So what do you guys think about your top 10 selling out of the year? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in the day, guys.
Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.